Hello, and welcome to Conscious Curiosities, where we unlock the wisdom of the universe, which lies within. I'm Maria Luz, your host, a psychic medium, astrologer, and hypnotist. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about cycles of planets meeting up. And sometimes these are called synodic cycles. And this came up a little bit because when I wrote my Substack for today, there was a conjunction with Mercury and Mars, meaning those two planets are meeting up. And actually, they're doing that twice in kind of a short period of time because of Mercury's retrograde motion. And then the other one was that Venus is making a square to Pluto. So when you are looking at your birth chart, you know that there are going to be some emphasized meetups or transits, and one of them might be what you're familiar with, the Saturn return, which happens about like age 29 for the first time. However, there's also these other aspects that Saturn in the sky, and we also call it transiting Saturn, is making to your natal Saturn before the return. So there is also what would be called the opening square, and this is similar to the lunar phase, the first quarter square, first quarter moon is what it's called. And then you would have the opposition of transiting Saturn to your natal Saturn, and that's similar to the full moon, the full phase, because when you look at that, the sun and the moon are opposite one another. And then you have the uh, closing square, which is also in the lunar phase language, the last quarter phase. And finally, you have the conjunction again. And in the lunar phase, that is the new phase. But it's not just lunar phases, the sun and the moon's relationship, that have these significant aspects or times that they're having a conversation in the sky, or the planet in the sky with your natal planet. It's not just the sun and the moon. So you can look at any two planets in this way, and you can think of it as I mentioned, they are having a conversation. And every time they start a new cycle of meeting up, and so for example, Venus, I think, was made a conjunction with Pluto in December of last year, of 2024. And now Venus is in this closing square with Pluto, because Pluto's in Aquarius and Venus now just entered Scorpio. And then in this coming January, Venus will meet up with Pluto again in Aquarius. Um, so, yeah, I think Pluto was in last time, was already in Aquarius. Hold on, I'm doing this real time. Yeah, last time they met up, December 7th, 2024, 0 degrees Aquarius. And then this coming conjunction, or again, new phase, is going to be January 19th, 2026, when they'll be at 3 degrees Aquarius. So the reason why I'm highlighting this is that, like I said, they always have an agenda or a topic of their conversation for the phase or the cycle that they're going to be discussing. And the way that you can get hints about that, if you're, let's say we're looking in the sky, and I've been doing this lately just with the lunar phases. So every time there's a lunation, so the most recent one that I read about is this last quarter phase of the moon. And it just so happens that Venus is also in the same last quarter aspect with Pluto. Um, I look at the not just those two planets, but I have to look at the rest of the chart to see what else of significance is happening, and not just of significance, but what information forms a pattern, because there are always going to be these redundancies of theme that light up, and that's how we know we better pay attention. So the same thing happens in your own birth chart when planets are transiting. And I will see in someone's chart that, oh, they just, they last year they had their Uranus opposition. They were, at 42 years. And now, they're coming up on Pluto's going to be square their ascendant or something. Um, and I'll be able to see that there are commonalities in those themes. And that's what the soul intended for you to work on. And the more you, let's say, resist, the more intense those upcoming transits of the same theme will be. They'll get louder, because our soul really wanted us to, to work with these energies so that we can evolve. Um, and it's it also another way to look at it. And I experience this in my life. Yes, they get louder, but they also give you that other opportunity to catch up. Okay, if you whatever was going on in your life, you weren't ready, because we're not in a vacuum. We have all these other people around us with free will, and we have world events happening that influence the rate at which we are able to evolve as well. So you will always, always have another chance, always, because we always have these transits. So I'm going to leave you with that. But if you are interested, yeah, let me know. Shoot me a message, info@marialuz.online, and I can talk a little more about what each of these pairs, for example, the Venus and Pluto, what they generally wish us to work on. And then maybe specifically, since they're going to start a new phase in January, that might be an interesting one to just talk about as their cycle continues throughout the year. And of course, I'm always available if you want to schedule with me to have a reading, either astrology or tarot or psychic mediumship, or if you want to work on anything in hypnosis with me. And that's at marialuz.online or in person if you live in Seattle. You can look at those options on my website. I wish you a wonderful week. Bye bye.